Yeah, today we're going to talk about monetizing data in agents with our new product, Access Intelligence. First, a quick summary about Access Protocol. We're a content and services monetization protocol. We offer incentivized subscriptions via staking of our native ACS token. We have 224,000 total subscribers across the ecosystem, totaling roughly $4 million in total value locked in subscriptions, and that's across over 300 creators. So quickly, show of hands, how many of you are sick and tired of social agents on X? There you go, he is. Appreciate that. Yeah, basically a lot of people are getting tired of it. I was gonna put a slide together kind of highlighting people's frustrations, but Cash perfectly sums up his frustration. TLDR is they're useless and annoying. So before we dive into why they're useless and annoying, let's just define what an agent actually is. So I asked ChatGPT for a definition, found it sufficient. An AI agent is a system that perceives its environment, makes decisions, takes actions to achieve specific goals, either autonomously or semi-autonomously. So 3 things there. It perceives its environment, that's data ingestion or observation. They make decisions, so that's inference or reasoning. And they take action, so execution through connectivity. In crypto, we're familiar with agents, and they're incredibly easy to launch, but actually pretty difficult to make smart and useful. Launchpads that we're very familiar with optimize for distribution, and they neglect utility and intelligence. And I'm not saying that distribution isn't important, it's incredibly important, but it's just one part of an equation. Who cares what you are distributing if it has no use or purpose? And I'm not just knocking on launchpads themselves. Connectivity with data and interpretation of data is incredibly challenging. I asked Perplexity, one of my favorite sites, what are the top L1s by TVL? It told me that Solana's TVL was 415 million, so like roughly 20x off the 7-point-something billion TVL that Solana has. So in summary, it's really hard to get it right with data. I don't know if Perplexity was using the same data that the guy that said Solana only had 75 active devs, maybe, I'm not too sure. But we know that data is like incredibly important. So OpenAI spent over $325 million on licensing deals for context for training their models. This was like a massive windfall for media companies that were otherwise struggling to survive in the new digital age. But we need to help companies that have more long-tail niche data sets that are actionable. So how can we enable companies that don't have the distribution of Axel Springer, but actually have niche data sets that can be used by agents? A not so hot take by me is that AI agents will be the largest consumer base in the world over the next 5 to 10 years, and maybe that's conservative. But what that really means is that's going to change how we consume information. They're going to curate content, write memos, emails, and pretty much augment every single aspect of our day-to-day, personally and professionally. So media companies really need to shape themselves to be ready for this transfer in consumer behavior. And that's where our new product, Access Intelligence, comes in. So we are launching a data and agent marketplace where you can monetize your data for agent consumption and deploy a data-powered agent in under 5 minutes with no code. So we're teaming up with an absolute killer lineup of companies in the industry. We have The Block bringing hundreds of endpoints from their data dashboard, along with some breaking news and research. We have CoinGecko with their token and exchange history, along with all of their on-chain data from Gecko Terminal. We have Codex bringing 23 million tokens across 60 different networks. Foresight News bringing breaking news and an important bit of contextual data from their company wiki and company funding. And then we have 4 regional news and information partners. We have Block Media based in Korea, Block Tempo based in Taiwan, GinaCoin based in Japan, and O-Daily based in China, all providing news and information within their respective regions and languages. So quick demo, end-to-end of creation of one of these agents on our platform. Setting up the actual information, the function of it. We are selecting the data endpoints that we want our agent to have access to. we are giving the agent permissions to interact with users who will then call upon those APIs and which APIs they should select. Populating the character information, this is a fork of Eliza. We are paying with Solana Pay for the data directly to the block for 1 year of access to that. I skipped over the deployment part. That takes about 1.5 minutes. And now we're querying the agent, which is now, for the first time, touching all the endpoints and querying all those endpoints to find the answer to the result, the same question I asked Perplexity. So I know I said an agent in under 5 minutes, 3 minutes 59, 5 minutes sounds better. So super high level for how it works. A user sets parameters based on what APIs it wants the agent to call and what clients it wants it to hit. The agent then queries our RAG, finds the most relevant endpoints based on the parameters set by the user. Then it receives a structured data output from those API endpoints, and the agent naturalizes that to language. The best part about this is that companies like The Block literally have to do nothing. They just give us their API, and we handle the rest. So it's a very seamless way for these companies to be able to augment revenues by monetizing, again, what we think are the consumers of the future. So basically, in summary, we enable you to monetize your data, news, research, structured data, deploy an intelligent agent with no code in under 5 minutes, and monetize useful agents, deploy and create useful workflows, and make money through the staking of our native ACS token. Our goals are simple. It's help info providers monetize the consumer of the future, agents, and help anyone deploy a useful agent that is data-powered. So keep an eye out. In the next 2 weeks, we'll be launching the platform. Follow us at Access Protocol and at Try Intelligence. Thank you, everyone.